Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, Mr. Sealy P. It's Monday, it's the 13th of February, we've got some new mods, we've got some updates to the Massey Ferguson 8S US EU series by KRKZ Modding, the Pertinger Boss Alpine Pack by Mr. Steyer and Lindner Power, the Covenant Optima V Custom by JH Modding, the Seed Potato Farm Buildings Pack by Dazed, and the additional pallet storage by GH66 Mods have all had updates. I'm going to start with these smaller bits of machinery, then we'll work out around the field and stuff like I normally do. So in front of me we have got, get this right, the 3-point leveler blade by FS22, 2.87 megabytes download, 1 slot on console, 2.4 meters wide. That's this one on the front. You'll find it under levelers. Just there, 1,700. Slot count was 3. Not 3. What's that was? Oh, it was 1 anyway, so it stays at 1. And we can change the main colour of the blade to anything on that pallet. Hop in, start it up. So we can raise and lower. I have to say, it raises and lowers very quickly. The tilt and stuff on it is very responsive. So you can turn your little tractors into dozers or whatever you want to do. But I mean, it's designed to be a leveler. For silage clamps, that kind of stuff, you can push things around with it, of course. But that's the first one. So that's the 3-point leveler blade by FS22. On the back, we've got this. I'm just going to drop that off. So we've got the Fliegl Combi Balefork, just there. This is by Rick Black Labele TWD Modding, 0.94 megabytes download, 1 slot on console. The next 3, this one and the next 2 on here, are all under bale loaders, so you'll see them in just a moment anyway. But we'll go back into the menu to have a look at each one anyway. If we go up to bale loaders, we're looking at this one just here. 780, slot count is 1 anyway. So it stays at 1. There are no options on this, you get it just as it is. And with this one, we have got the option to just raise and lower it. Switch onto the back, there we go. Lift front loader tool, lower front loader tool. There's no option on this one for tilting in any direction at all, so you literally just drive up, spike into the bale, raise and lower it. Job done. That's the Fliegl Combi Balefork by Rick Black Labele TWD Modding. Next, on the front of here, we've got this. This is the Lizard 11400 by Grubby. It's 1.23 megabytes download, 2 slots on console. Also a Balefork, as you can see. Also found under bale loaders. This one's right out on the end there, 1,250. Slot counts 2, comes down to 1. We can change the main colour, which changes the frame. And then we can change the design colour, which does the times, like so. This one, I think we've got the ability to adjust ourselves. We can raise and lower it automatically, but we do also have the option for a bit of tilt there as well, and manual operation if you want to manually operate it, like so. Excellent. That's the Lizard 11400 by Grubby. On the back of that, we've got the homemade lizard fork. It's not for lizards, it's a lizard fork, but it's homemade. You know what I mean. So this one we can manually raise and lower it. We can also lower it automatically. Lowering it automatically takes it right down to the ground like so. What's great about this one is having the strap on it as well, so moving around the bale's not going to jiggle around, not going to disappear anywhere. When you release the strap, off you go, raise and lower it manually or automatically, and then when you get to your next bale, same thing again, just like that. Strap, lift bale, and we have got the option to tilt, just in case. I mean, not that you'd need to, with it being strapped down, it shouldn't go anywhere. There you go. This one, also found under bale loaders, just there, 850. Slot count was 2 on that, comes down to 1. Options on that, get it just like it is, no other options. Nice and straightforward. I like that. The homemade lizard fork. Did I say the wrong person for that? Or did I say Grubby again, didn't I? That was Grubby. This homemade fork wasn't Grubby. This was by VuleX and Gliga. Sorry about that. My list is quite long, so it's 19 mods today, so it's kind of squashed in on my notes. Anyway, that's the homemade lizard fork. So, moving on from there. We've got this, and this is the old wooden shed. This is by Raider, 2.65 megabytes download, 4 slots on console, 15,000 to buy. We've had old sheds and old mod, but I do like about this is the fact that because the sort of the planks and stuff on the back are sort of higgledy-piggledy, are nailed on at different angles, there's a few missing. It really does give that feeling that it has been used, it's been repaired. It is an old shed. Nicely made, nicely detailed. You'll find it in the build mode and sheds. Just there. Slot count comes down to 1 from 4. 15 grand. Nice and straightforward. The old wooden shed by Raider. Next we've got this. This is the water tank by Perin Modding. It is 4 slots, 28 grand to buy. You find it in a build mode and containers, this one. Out on the end. This is a buy point for water. Once purchased and placed, you still get charged for the water, though. It's not free water. It is still, you have to pay for it. It's big, isn't it? But another nice one. Actually, I haven't tried going up the ladder. I wouldn't have. I don't know. You never know, do you? Oh, maybe we can. Oh no, fell through. Anyway, it's worth a look, you never know. So, under build mode and containers, the water tank by Perin Modding. Next, we've got these two, actually. So we'll start with this. This is the hay storage and ventilation by Austria Modding, 6.11 megabytes download, 5 slots on console for each one. This one's 60 grand, that one's 80 grand. This one is just a hay, I say just, it's a hay loft, 500,000 litres, so it'll do your hay and your straw in whichever configuration of that you want to do. It gets put in this side, tipped in that side, and you take out from that side. Nice and straightforward, lovely. This one you find under build mode and silos. Just there. Slot count will come down to 1 from 5, as I said, 500,000 litre. It's a hayloft, but if we then go up to production, and along our production chains, we get to the one on the very end there, hay ventilation for 80 grand. The one next to it is a hay dryer, so this will, or no, a grass dryer to make hay. So you put grass in this and it will make hay. Now, this and another couple of mods we're going to look at in a moment have got me a little bit puzzled. That's a 500,000 litre capacity. This mod we're going to look at in a moment has got a 15 million litre capacity, which made me wonder whether it had thrown this off or not. And I'll show you what I mean. So as I said, you find this under productions. If we go around to our manage here, I put 600,000 litres into this and it didn't even touch the sides. I have no idea what the capacity is on this. But yeah, 600,000 litres didn't seem to make any difference. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, drying down, which is great. So I thought, considering that one was 500,000 litres, maybe that big silo next door was giving it a false capacity. So I removed that, and it didn't seem to make any difference. So I don't know whether you'll find it different. I mean, it could be it's a 500,000 litre capacity, which is still pretty good for drying your hay. Drying your grass, sorry, to make hay. If it's not, that has got some colossal capacity to it. But I'm thinking it could be that's causing it. But anyway, that's the hay storage and ventilation by Austria Modding. Next, we've got this, the silo facility. This is by MISSYB, 3.44 megabytes download, 7 slots on console, 250 grand to buy with a 15 million litre capacity. As I've already mentioned, multi-fruit. I think it does liquids as well. I think. Hang on, I just need to double check that. I didn't check with stuff. Silo to store all types of crop. Bear with me a second. I'm going to go and get some water and see if it will take liquid. Or actually, what I could do is bring the tanker over and see if it's got storage for it. But it's quite a big building anyway. You'll find it under silos. At the very end there. Slot count will come down from 7 to 1. And yeah, your input and output is done here. It's big. I'll see you in a moment. We'll just double check that. I just tried water and liquid fertiliser and it didn't seem to want to take it. So as far as I can tell, it's a multi-fruit crop silo. Doesn't hurt to check, does it? So, moving on from there, we've got these. And this is the, get it right, this is the food mixers by erShaba. 5.65 megabytes download, 6 slots each, 22,000 each. And this is why it made me think of that previous mod might have been causing a problem, because it does say capacity 50,000 litres, but I'm assuming that's outgoing materials. So outgoing 50,000 litre capacity. The forage mixer, and it does give you a ratio of what it will mix. So I immediately thought 50,000 litres, so I worked out what 50% of that would be, 30% would be, and 20% would be, so you could work out the perfect mix. But as it turned out, I put first of all 10,000 litres of each in, and again, it didn't even touch the sides. Didn't even come close. So as far as what you put into this, for doing TMR on this one, silage, hay and straw, that is the ratio it will take it at. 500, the recipe 500, 300 and 200 for the silage, hay and straw. So it's a 1-to-1, you get 1,000 out, you're not losing anything in the process. I only had it running for a little while and I've already got a load in there. I did turn it off for a bit. But it will take loads on the incoming materials. I think it's the outgoing products that's a 50,000 litre capacity. So once it hits 50,000 it will stop until you've emptied it, put it somewhere else, done what you want with it. But as far as incoming goes, I didn't keep going because I could have been here for ages trying to fill that up. I was doing it by bucket originally, but that's the... As you can hear, it's making a noise. The screen's not showing anything. But anyway, so that's the TMR one. Then the pig food mixer. And this one does maize, corn, sunflower and potato at that ratio. But the same thing again. Incoming, plenty of capacity on there. Same again, it's a 1-to-1, so the 600, 250 and 150. That will give you your 1,000 litres of pig food, so you're not going to lose anything in the process there. Turn that on. There we go. These you'll find under production. Just there, as I said, 22 grand each. Slot count comes down to 1 for each of those. And they're not too slow. I think, you know, as far as mixing up your feed goes, and it doesn't require a huge amount of inputs either, just corn, sunflower and potatoes for the pig food, which is pretty good. And they don't take up a lot of space either for placing. So you're in. Now, I suppose you could, I did it with a bucket. You could probably use conveyor belts, you can use bales, as if you're doing the total mix ration one. I did try with the trailer to pull up alongside to see if it would take it, like tipping from the side, but it didn't. So I'm assuming you actually have to put into it in some way, like I say, whether it be conveyor belts or whatever you want to use. It is entirely up to you. That's the food mixers by erShaba. Next we've got these. This is the Finnish machinery sheds. These are by Famari99, 7.77 megabytes download. That one's 7 slots, this one is 6 slots. 14,500 to buy, 12,500 to buy. You find them under build mode and sheds. Difference between the two, this one's got doors or gates. They're hanging and open at the bottom. Each one does open independently if you want it to, but it will overlap the other one, so it just depends which one you want to open at what time. You can't have them all open at the same time, because if you do, 2 of them will cover the other 2, or they'll just close into the opposite position like that and you don't gain anything. There's no lighting inside on this one or this one. This one just doesn't have the gates on it, that's all. Nicely made, nicely detailed. I know I say it a lot, but it's true. That's the Finnish machinery sheds by Famari99. And next we've got this massive building. This is the crops and machinery storage by DMI 20mm Normandy. 4.64 megabytes download, 7 slots on console. 275 grand with this huge covered area over this side as well. Then we've got interior storage. A large open area there with the smaller, narrow one there. There is lighting inside, or there are lights inside, but I couldn't find a light switch, so I'm assuming that's automatic. There's also a door at the back there, so you can make this whole large section underneath drive-through if you want to. You are going to need a huge expanse for placing this. It is under sheds, just there, as you'll see. And you see, it's just, yeah, it's colossal. Absolutely massive. So, if we whiz inside here, I'm just trying to see now. No. I thought I glimpsed a light switch, but I was wrong. That's your open side here. Like I said, I did have a look round. I couldn't see anything. Hang on. No. But there is lighting on the roof, so I'm assuming that's going to be automatic. And if we move over to this side, we've got a narrower storage option here. The door doesn't open. This one here doesn't open. I thought maybe there was a light switch in there, but that doesn't open. And then we've got the end one that does open. Like that. There we go. That's the crops and machinery storage by DMI 20mm Normandy. Next, we've got the direct seeding. Now, I've just got an example of over here. This is an interesting conversation. An interesting. What's that word I was going to use then? Collection. This is by Waldgeist, 37.65 megabytes download. These come under seeders and power harrows, because a lot of the in-game seeders aren't direct drills, although they do have power harrows attached, or power harrows that can attach. So what Waldgeist has done is made them direct drills, because they would be. If you've got a cultivating section on the front of power harrow, that's power harrowing, then you seed behind it, so it would be a direct drill. So that's what's changed in this pack. If we go along to seeders, here you'll see the standard in-game one, so the Nordstein, the Amazon, the HR4040 with the Venter 4030 on it. So these have all got a power harrow on them, but they're not direct drills. So what's happened is, as we go along and get to the pack, the Nordstein is now a direct drill with the power harrow attached. Now these ones, the Amazon Centia and the Ventra, they are going to require a separate power harrow. So whilst they are direct drills, they need the power harrow to go with it. You'll find that under power harrows. This one here requires the front tank for this to work. So the front tank that's there, you'll need the front tank for that to work. But then added in on the end, we've got the Pertinger Line 303 Aerosem, we've got the Alpago RK300 and Jet M, and we've got the Covenant E-Drill Maxi. Now these have got power harrows in the power harrow section, but didn't have the seeders. So the seeders have been added in under this pack. So all of these in this pack then become direct drills. If we come out of here and go to disc harrows, you'll see that here you've got the Alpago, where are we? So those are the standard. Have I gone to the wrong thing? I've gone to disc harrows, that's why. There we go. So there's the Nordstein, the Alpago, the Amazon, and the HR4040. Those are all power harrows in their own right, but then these ones have been added in as well. So combinations of the old seeders with these new bits, or the new ones they've put in, will make the standalone seeders that weren't direct drills now direct drills. I hope that makes sense. They've all got slightly different slot counts and different options on them. These ones just come as they are. They're just the power harrows in the pack. I was saying that, I think the seeders came with some options. I'm sure they did. I think it might just be license plates. Or maybe they don't. That was an assumption I was making there, that they came with other options. But anyway, so yeah, just and why not? They would be direct drills, wouldn't they? It just kind of makes sense. I think these were 10s, as you can see there, 10 slots, 9 slots. I think I had another couple of 10s. There was one, that one there. Oh, Sonny, that was up there, I think. That was a little bit higher, but I've got one of those out. Anyway, that all being said, so what should happen now with the front tank on this one? I'll start it up. I've got it set on canola. This normally wouldn't be a direct drill, so I'm going over a crop that's just been done. And there we go. Shallow cultivation with the power harrow section on the front. Now it could be argued, and has been argued in the past when I've said about various different mods like this that have come out, that they're designed, the power harrow is designed when a field's been ploughed to prepare the seed bed ahead of the seeding. But I think the point also being, if you haven't ploughed your field and you're going to do direct drilling because you don't want to plough all the time, why not use the power harrow as a direct drill? It is a cultivator, that's the point of it. Anyway, that all being said, that's the direct seeding by Waldgeist. Have a look, there's a whole load of stuff in there that you might find useful. Next we have got over here the SEPPKNUSEL F240. This is by bialy. It is 1.17 megabyte download, 3 slots on console, 2.4 meters wide. We have a standard in-game one. If we go to mowers, there, standard one. It's the same slot count, same horsepower requirement, same width. Difference is with this modded version, we've got a couple of different options on colour, and you can have the skirts on or off, that kind of thing. So without covers, middle shields, side shields, or all of them. But we can change the main colour to anything on that palette. Design colour. Again, anything on that palette. The skirts will stay the same colour of yellow no matter what you go with on the other options. And it mows. Which is kind of the point, really. I left the covers open so you can see the discs. Drums, discs rotating. And there we go. Excellent. So, let's drop that off. The SEPPKNUSEL F240 by bialy. Next, we've got the Lizard MDT, which is this, just here, which is in essence a low loader. So this is by Holzs FS, 4.55 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. It was initially designed for seeders, wider seeders or longer seeders, depending on how you look at it, wider seeders that didn't have the ability to fold didn't have the ability necessary to be pulled directly behind a vehicle. So the good thing is you drop this down, you can drive over it, unhook your seeder wherever it is, and then strap it down and off you go with this, which is great. There's a couple of different options on size for this. It does say it can be used for other things. So I thought I'll give it a try. I tried it with a harvester. It did not like that one bit. I tried it with a lorry. Didn't like that either. The whole thing shook, vibrated, moved around. The back wheels were flickering a little bit. I'm just being honest about it. I'm just what I've found. Because like I say, it does say in the description, if I can find it where it says in the description, this trailer model was developed to transport planters, but it can also have other applications. So I thought I'd try a few different things. You'll find it under Tools and Low Loaders. Just out there. $6,000 for the 8 metre. And then for another 500 you get the 12 metre. So I thought, yeah, longer stuff, longer seeders, longer vehicles, whatever you want to put on it. A warning sign, this is to do with the beacons. At the moment it's standard, no beacons. We've got a rear beacon, a front beacon, both beacons are off, if you want. Main colour, anything on that palette, and then license plate option on there too. So yeah, I mean, I suppose you can put pallets on it, you can put bales on it, you can do all sorts of stuff really. But it's just something to be aware of. Depending on what you put on it, it may not like it. I like the idea of it. I did wonder whether or not the scaling was off a little bit, but I think no, it's 12 meters. It's just what it should be, absolutely. So we've got the beacons on there, and then we go L1 and X rise. Goes up on the end section there to that height. It does have straps on there as well. Interestingly though, I wonder if it's just because it had something on it that made it do it. If we lower it, I think it's because it had something on it. Those back wheels were twitching all over the place. It just didn't seem to like something else being on the back of it, so to speak. But that's what it does. Like I say, it will be just trial and error as to what seeder, planter, a piece of equipment, whatever you put on there, how well it behaves when you do. I'm just saying. So, that's the Lizard MDT by Holzs FS. Next, where did I leave it? It's over here somewhere. We've got the Selfmade front tank. This is by Marius, and I don't want to get this wrong. It's by Marius and VuleX by Deutz. I think that's right. VuleX by Deutz 631. So it's designed to go with sprayers. It will take herbicide or liquid fertilizer. It's only a 350 litre tank, but it adds an extra bit on. I just bought it out with a sprayer just to give you a kind of, an idea of what it would look like. So it's the 350 litre front tank for liquid fertilizer or herbicide. You'll find it under sprayers. Just there, 4,300. How much is it for the 1,500 litre tank there for £5,000? I suppose for what it is, it's quite pricey, isn't it? I guess. But anyway, it might be just what you're looking for. It might be right up your street. Who knows? As you saw, no options available. You get it just like that. The Selfmade front tank, 1.74 megabytes download, 2 slots on console, by Marius and VuleX by Deutz631. Next, we've got this, and this would work perfectly on the trailer we just looked at. This is the coupling of toothed Harrows by R.Mihail, 2.89 megabytes download, 3 slots on console, 9 meters wide. It's a cultivator, but it doesn't fold. It's a solid bar. So at 9 meters, you know, unless you're on a very big, wide open map, it's not going to be too handy to take it down the road like that. You want it in that direction, really, which actually that sort of trailer would be perfect for. So, and cultivators is where you'll find it. Right at the end, 18 grand, 80 horsepower required. We can change the main colour to any one of those 3, and those are your choices. I say it's a shallow cultivator. I think it is. I haven't tried it yet. Let's drop it down. Oh no, it's not. But there you go. It's not a... so that will bring up small stones. Like that. I think it's... well, it's not a roller. I mean, it's designed for seedbed preparation, but it will work like a cultivator, as you can see. It is cultivating, but just not shallow. Again, another one of those things. Glad I checked it, because I made an assumption, and I shouldn't have done. But it'll get the job done fairly quick. Actually, I wonder how fast that does go. I didn't check to see. Probably does say in the description, actually. But for seedbed prep, it won't push small stones back into the ground. So it'll bring up... no, a roller will do that. What we're talking about. So yeah, it will bring up small stones. No, 8 miles an hour is the speed it will go. There you go. The coupling of toothed Harrows by R.Mihail. Next, we've got another cultivator. This is a front cultivator. This is a heavy bit of equipment. If you go for the, I've gone for the 6 meter version. This is the Lemken VarioPack 110 by NicoPix's 4.68 megabytes download, 3 slots on console. I did put a rear weight on because it just boom, it just went right up straight away. Again, under cultivators, just in from the end, 12,990, 50 horsepower required for the smaller of them. I don't think... oh, maybe it's 50 for the big one. That says 30 horsepower. That's 4 meters. We get option of work lights or work lights with turn signal. Whichever you'd rather go for. So we've got a work with a 4 meter, 4.5. Oh yeah, so 4 meter and 4.5 meter is 30 horsepower required. 5 meter is 40 horsepower required. And 6 meter is 50 horsepower required. That's pretty good for a 6 meter. So I've gone for that one. And like I say, you'll need a weight for the 6 meter. Maybe the 4 meter you wouldn't, but it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But it might be you're cultivating on the front with a seeder directly behind it, in which case you've got weight over that back axle anyway, so it would probably be alright. So it depends how you go about it. That was just the lights. I didn't go for the one with the... what's the word I'm looking for? Turn signals, indicators. Lower it down. I lowered the weight by mistake. Genius, there we go. This one is a shallow cultivator, as you can see. Brilliant stuff. There we go. That's the Lemken VarioPack 110 by NicoPix. Moving on from there, we've got this. This is the Pickup 2018 Facelift. This is by Tommy, 7.87 megabytes download, 10 slots on console for the vehicle, 3 slots if you go for the salt spreader, which comes with it in a pack. That will spread out to 6 meters wide. If you want that, you don't have to have it, you can just have the pickup if you want. There's quite a few different options on this. I do like the wheel and tyre, well, the wheel options. What was this? Was it SR? What was this? I can't remember now. Something like that. Anyway, you'll find it under cars, out on the end, 43 grand. Slot count will come down to 1 from 10. We've got the option of a 250 horsepower, 300 horsepower, or the SR at 450 horsepower. That's what I went for. Wheel setup, we've got standard, standard 2, sport design, or SR. The SR just changes the hubs a little bit. I think it just makes them a darker colour, but it's still under the sport. Then we've got design standard, matte aluminium, that's for the wing mirrors and some of the grills and things like that. Glossy black or back to standard. I'll leave it on glossy black. We have got light design standard, light pack, which puts it in the grill and changes the lights a little bit. It's hard to see in the headlights, but it does change them a little bit. Those are the two options on there. We've got dashboard configuration. We've got standard, or we've got a tech pack, which gives you a digital dash rather than analog dials. It just gives you a digital version. Then we've got standard, LED bar standard, spotlight, spotlight and strobe, or back off again. I went for the spotlight and strobe, but you can just have the spotlight if you want just spotlight, or not at all. Then attachers, we've got standard and salt box. So standard just gives you a regular pickup with the usual stuff. You can open the back, it's got straps, and I think it will give you the tow hook thing if you need it. But if you have the salt box, it takes the rear section off because that's where the salt box will attach to if you want it. Chassis colour, we've got some metallics at the top, and then we've got the regular sort of colour palette on there. Other than that, that one's quite nice, the dark sort of satin grey. Seats colour, anyone on that palette does a strip on the inside of the seats. We can then change the caliper colour, mix and match, or however you want to go about it. Nice little detail. And the rim colour, anything on that palette, like so. License plate 2, if you wish. And then if we come out of there and we go to wintering, winter equipment, winterization, that's where you find the salt box, 6,500, 680 litre. Did it take 680? I thought it was more than that. 6 metre spread width, it will spread at 15 miles an hour. Options on this, chassis colour changes the box colour. We've got orange or grey. Cover is blue or grey. So, let's hop in this and start it up. Horn. Strobes. Now lights, we'll go through the lights in the front first, like that. On the back, I do like this light block here. It's cool, isn't it? Interior, I went, like I say, the digital rather than the analog dials. There's no doors or windows open, just say unfold car. But I think that's if you've got the option with the rear tailgate. It does have rear straps, so you can still use it even in the salt configuration for strapping things down if you want to. If we back up to that, take straps off. We'll come with that on. So the salt bit on the back, we do have lights on the back of that as well, with indicators on it as well. Oh, I like those indicators, I didn't notice that. That's cool. Turn those off. Unfold the salt spreader, puts the back down. It's like a speedboat. Putting the prop down, which does have a rear work light on it, like that. We can open the cover, which is quite cool as well. It's got some nifty features on this. I like the way it folds back and where it puts it. Just rests them on the side there. It's 608 litres. I don't know why it looks like a lot more. You know, I know it said 680 litres, and I filled it up and didn't even think to check it. Then we can change the work width. 6 metre, 4 metre, 2 metre. So depending on where you're spreading. Job done. I like it. I like it a lot. It's got some nice options on that, and it does look good. So there we go. That's the pickup 2018 Facelift by Tommy, which brings me on to the last of the mods for today. And it's this, the Lizard Trold by Agro Tonho, 12.22 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. It is a quad, but again, we've got quite a few different options on this, as you can see. Kitted out with bull bars and lights and straps and different tyres and all sorts of cool gadgetry. You'll find this under vehicles and cars. Was cars, wasn't it? Yep. Just there. 12,100. Slot count comes down to 1. We have got the option of Mitas, BKT, Nokian. BKT has the most options on it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go down, I'm going to change the... Hang on. Or up, I should have gone. I'm going to change the rim colour so you can see. I'm going to put it on, I don't know, white so you can see. There we go. Just so you can see the rims when we change them. So, let's go back up. So under Mitas, we've got rim 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to rim 1. Under BKT, we've got rim 1 Earth Max, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we go to rim 1 Ride Max, which changes the profile of the tyres a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then Sierra Max Pro, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to standard. And then we've got the Nokian under rim 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to rim 1 again. Handlebar. So this does the light shroud, light shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to 1. So I picked opticians. 1 or 2? 1 or 2. Front prop. Got a plastic front sort of non-slip mat on there. Or you can have colourful front one. So black or to match the colour of the vehicle. It's entirely up to you. Grille standard. So those standard grills, those have got the tension or the straps on. With round headlights, LED bar. You can have it with an extra bumper on the front with round headlights and LED bar, or all off again. I think I went with that. Then on the back you've got the black pad, or you can have it a metallic one. Then on the side we've got plastic side, coloured side, or no side, so you can sort of see into the engine. Lighthouse. What was that on? Oh, that was around the housing of the lights at the front. So you got black mask, coloured mask, carbon fibre, or back to standard. Then we've got a load of camouflage colours, which you can pick, or back to standard. Attachers, we've got a rear attacher, 3-point link, a side attacher, or both. If you're doing your precision farming and doing your soil testing, you can do it using those. We can change the main colour to anything on this palette. There's a whole load of metallics and various different things to choose from. Design colour. Pick something else that stands out. Does your shocks and suspension supports. Rim colour does rims. That's it. So, let's hop on, start it up. Lights. Straps. The suspension's okay. It hasn't got a huge amount of suspension travel. We'll go up to 80 miles an hour. It's not a slouch. It does seem quite wide as well. It's quite stable. There's some we've had before. They feel like they're going to tip really easily. This one seems pretty solid, I have to say. First person. Rear trailer hitch on there as well as having the 3-point if you've gone for the 3-point. There you go. That's the Lizard Trold by Agro Tonho, and that's it for the mods for today. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.